Hello and welcome again to Scorched Earth. I am Winslow and today we're going to continue talking about tame breeding. We'll go step by step on breeding, hatching, and raising a baby killing machine. This is going to be less detailed than the last video about breeding to get a base mating pair. It's simply going to be about the breeding and raising process. Then I'll go over some of the differences between imprinting and not imprinting a baby. No time like the present, so let's just go ahead and get right to it. First here, what we have is the mated pair of 231 Carnos that we finally got after the last video. It ended up taking about 7 more eggs to finally get that mated pair. A quick look at their stats here and you'll see that we've got 34 damage and 33 health, which is what we wanted to get, and we've got that on both of our Carnos. To start, we will use the radial menu to enable them for mating. You can also enable wandering, but I don't really recommend that, because if they get too far apart, then they will just stop, and you also have to wrangle them. As before, when we see the little hearts icons above their names, this tells us that they are currently mating and will soon produce an egg. Each tame has a different amount of time needed to finish, and also different gestation or incubation times. You'll also see that we don't have any mutations on either of their family lines, which is what we want when starting out. I named them base father and base mother to separate them from any others and easily lets me know that they aren't to be used for adventuring. I also keep a note in the inventory showing what their important base stats are. We'll go ahead and give them some privacy. This is going to take a little bit, and we'll be right back. Now that we have an egg, I want to go hatch it, but there are some conditions needed for incubation. Each type of egg has a special temperature range that it must be within to incubate. Hatching can be a bit tricky on a map like Scorched Earth because of the high temperature ceiling. Sometimes the blasting heat wave is almost 150 degrees Fahrenheit or about 65 degrees Celsius. I usually wait until I have enough industrial tech to have air conditioners before doing any real breeding. AC units, when stacked, will work together to keep an egg within its temperature range. Some special eggs like a wyvern or rock drakes can take over 20 AC units to properly incubate. Sometimes for a large breeding project I will hatch many eggs at once. It's pretty easy to stockpile them because you can just keep them in a fridge for a long period of time. Let's not really go into the insanity of the Deinonychus breeding project that I have going on right now. Once the egg hatches, you will want to claim it quickly. The babies are hungry and will not last long without being fed, and you can't feed them until claimed. Here I got twins from a single egg, which can be especially helpful when trying to get a base pair because the twins will have identical stats. Sometimes you can manage to get a base pair on your first egg, if you get twins and one of them is female and one is male. You can even sometimes get triplets, but both twins and triplets are supposed to be pretty rare. Now that they're claimed and fed, I will take them both outside and we will wait for them to just grow up. I'm going to go ahead and imprint one, and then we can show off the differences between imprinting and not imprinting. Waiting for them to grow up is the most time-consuming process of breeding an ARC because you have to keep them safe and also fed. Babies will need food in their inventory until they reach the juvenile stage at 10% maturity. After that, they will eat from a nearby food trough. You do have to be careful with this though because babies eat significantly more food than adults, and they can quickly drain your food reserves. I highly recommend filling and checking your trough before, during, and after you have raised babies. Now that they are all grown up and saddled, let's see what we've got. First here, I've got the new male that was not imprinted. So I'm going to take him out for a walk and see what he can do. The first thing that I noticed is that he's not any faster than a wild Carno. He didn't gain any imprinted speed boost. It still has good health and damage, but it's not as good as it could have been if it were imprinted. Let me find a creature here, and sorry Jugbug. It's going to do 114 points of damage, which is still pretty good. Now with the new female that was imprinted, we can see that she's a little bit faster with movement. Her base speed is now 108.5%. She has higher base health and damage, but the raw stat number, 34 and 33, is the same. Her bite is going to do more damage, and she's overall moving faster, so she's able to get to her prey faster or get out of danger faster. And here her bite is going to do 136 points of damage. Now this is compared to the 114 that the non-imprinted male has. And it's going to do the same damage both with and without a rider. Imprinting your tames when raising them is a real great way to give them an added boost for anyone who rides them, but also the person imprinting gets an additional bonus when riding, plus 30% reduced incoming damage and an additional 30% outbound damage. All of this combined will allow your imprinted tame to take on a creature almost twice as strong in the same amount of time. I'm going to wrap this up here, and once again, as always, I would like to thank everyone for the support of this content. If you've made it this far, I want a double plus thank you. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, or would like to see something specific, please don't hesitate to comment or reach out to me on the social media links provided. Thanks again, and we'll catch up next time. Take care.